Hi everyone. Today I would like to talk to you about pain, about the power of pain, and how psychological pain can actually help to drive personal growth. You know, our culture is at war with pain. Everything that is painful we consider to be bad. But in reality, psychological and physical pain can both stimulate change and help us to grow. Now, using psychological pain to make positive changes allows us to, face our fears, face the things that we are scared of, and to have courage and to move forward in a new way, to learn new skills and new tools. So I want to talk to you about the sort of the techniques that you might use to transform pain into positive changes and positive growth. Now, reflect on the path. Reflect on, what's led you to this situation. What is the reality of the painful experience that you're going through at the moment? And then stop and reflect on that pain. Why is it painful? Now, I'm not, by the way, talking about, physical chronic pain that you need to deal with medication and all kinds of things that, that are obvious. But I'm talking about the more subtle psychological pain that these events sometimes can lead us to. So take action after you've, set some goals, and set those goals to be ones that are going to help you not just look at and view and observe, but to act with, to create action that's going to help you move forward through it and change in a positive way. So what are some of the things that you can do to deal with pain? Now, acknowledge, first of all, and validate the feelings. I mean, you are feeling pain. I know when I went through my divorce, I actually felt pain, physical and psychological pain. It took me many years really to sort of deal with that pain. But I think if I'd accepted it and let it validate my feelings, there were reasons, and I was justified in my painful expression. But it gave me an opportunity after a while, when I validated and accepted the situation, to grow from it, and I did, and as we all do through difficult times. Another thing is to seek support. If you have made that investment in friendships and community and relationships over time, which is something that I do actually think is super important at any time in our lives, we actually then can turn to those people, turn to those situations, and if it's a professional you need to go to, then go to them. But the thing is, do it in a way where you see the pain as not something you have to hide and push away and be afraid of, but something that you're just absorbing into your being, that is something that really can help. And once you've made that decision to go and talk to someone, it just sometimes just that counterbalance, that dialogue can help. The other thing, of course, is to practice self-care. We're so busy sometimes, helping everybody else with their pain and their challenges and their life stories, that we forget our own, and our own can be just as difficult and challenging. But that pain, again, is a way to move through it. It's not something to block and say, I'm not going to feel that pain. I'm going to be strong. I'm just going to ignore it. You have to actually dive in, and then practice on self-care. And then somehow, and this is a difficult one, but I know it's important, is to dive into the present moment. Whatever the pain is that you're experiencing, whether it's psychological or otherwise, that you actually just live there in the present moment, and know that that's the only way you're going to, sort of absorb the lesson into your life without, feeling like you have to reject it and push it back, push it away. So psychological pain can be a powerful motivator for change. Sometimes we know that when we've got these things going on in our lives, things that hurt us, people hurt us, or situations, disappointments, sadness, death, loss, we just want to push it away. But just realize that it can be a doorway. It can be a doorway that you could open and go into a brand new world. Don't be afraid of pain. Pain can be your helper. Acknowledging it as a catalyst to move into the next phase of your life, I think, is something that is so incredibly powerful. So, maybe you've got some situations you can think of, and that's probably a useful thing to do right now, actually, is to think in your mind, what were some of the situations where you felt pain, psychological pain? I know for me, I can look back on certain people that I've lost, my mom, my dad, people that I really, really had a close relationship with, and just, had to deal with the pain of loss. And I've also had pain with people letting me down, people rejecting me, situations not going the way that I wanted them to go. That is not, well, it can be physical pain. And I know certainly for me, maybe for you too, my stomach is my thing. Whenever I get, upset stomach or pain in my stomach, I know that there's something I'm not releasing. I know there's something that is a pain, physical pain, that is really linked to a psychological pain. And I think there's a very interesting observations you can make. I remember, in fact, when my mom died, I went to the doctor. I was only 18, and I went to the doctor because I had this sore throat. I could not get rid of it. It was just this horrible tightness in my throat. And the doctor said to me, and he was just a very wise person. I was seeking help here. He said, "Margaret, has it ever occurred to you that you can't swallow the fact that your mom has died?" And I was astounded by that comment, but I got it. And it was like, it was true. My whole body was tense. My throat, my physical pain was actually a reflection of a psychological pain. And I think that that's something to think about and look at. And, by taking the opportunity to look at the root cause of your pain, accept it. Don't push it away. Don't deny it. Don't say, I'm going to think it away somehow. But taking it in, setting goals for how we're going to address it, things that we're going to do to bring into play that self-care, that sort of day-to-day healing that you need to get through it. And then through those two things, you can take control. You can take control of your life again, knowing that the psychological pain, which you may have wanted to push away and never deal with, has actually been the catalyst for change and for positive growth in your life. I think it's a really powerful model. Look at pain in a totally different way. Do you agree with that? I mean, how do you feel about it? Have you got situations in your life where you've had to make an adjustment because of a painful loss or situation that you couldn't handle, and then found afterwards that it was like a gift, that it was something that really helped you to move forward in your life? I'd love to read your comments. Please leave them in the section below. Thanks so much for being here and for sharing this journey with me. Wishing you all the best. Take really good care. Lots of love.